Hey y'all, welcome back to Coffee with Steven. Here's some coffee, here's some Steven, so we got Coffee with Steven. It's some good stuff, y'all. Well, today I want to talk about my new notebook I got. This is an endless recorder notebook that I have, and I want to just talk to you about it for a little bit, and we'll look at it and kind of go over some of the things I like and don't like about it, so I wanted to share it with you. First of all, as you can tell, this one is red. Now, I have already used it for a little bit. I've been using it for a week. So with a week behind me, I thought I could give a fair review on it. And there are some things I really like about it and some things I don't like about it at all. So we're going to talk about it. So this is not an unboxing because I already unboxed it, but it did come almost like this. And we'll go over it now. So as you can see, the label on it, on the front of it says Endless Recorder. It tells you that it's the journal pages are dotted, and on the back side of it, it has all the specifications and everything on it, and we'll go over those in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and take this little blue elastic band and we'll unwrap it from the back side. And I like how the band goes in there. So the band goes in there really nice. So if you look at it, it kind of goes inside the cover. And this cover, it depends on where you look at the specs and what it says. It says it's leather, and then it says it's leatherette. So I'm not sure what the difference between leather and leatherette is, but on the same specs page, it says leather and leatherette. Now this particular journal is designed in Madras, and it's made in India. So if you watch my previous journal video on the Lutherm journal that I had, and I told you it was made in China, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for things that are not made in China. So this one here fits that category. It's made in India. All right, so let's go ahead and take this off. So we'll go ahead and take this piece of paper off, set it to the side for a little bit. Inside, when you get this little pamphlet or booklet right here. You look at the front of it and it says, "Thank you very much." You open it up, and there is a cute little sticker inside of it. So the cute little sticker, and there's also a code or a number that you can register your journal. Huh, that's kind of cool, huh? It is. So we're going to take that and we're going to set it to the side as well. And if you look at this, there's a place right here on the first page where you can actually put your name or something like that on there if you want to. And then we'll just look at something that I really like about the journal or about the notebook right away. So the first two pages in it are like a table of contents. So there's a column for page number and then a column for name. So as I've been going through using it, I've been writing the page number down and then date and then the name or the main topic that I'm talking about in my journal as I'm journaling. So we're not going to look at what I'm journaling because I don't want to show you that because it's my journal, right? But what I will show you is, let's go ahead and look at let's see, let me cover that up really quick, and I'm going to pull out these two ribbons right here for you, and we'll do that. So if we look at the ribbons, a couple things about them. One, they're okay, but if you look at the blue one right here, and let's see, if you look at the blue one, the glue, when they've done the glue on it, the glue come out past the spine of the notebook, and it's just hard right there, so it doesn't lay flat. It's just, I mean, look at it. That's sad, y'all. That is really sad right there, and I don't like that at all. So kind of a, I hate to say it, poor quality experience right off the bat. The other thing I'll point out about it, so there's a red ribbon and a blue ribbon, and if you look at the two blues, they're definitely different color blue. And then if you look at the two reds, they're definitely different color reds. So I was like, not a biggie, but if you're going to spend, what I spent on this, I don't know, it was more than $20 for this sucker. Those are just little details that I think could have been done a little bit better. Now again, the leatherette cover, if we look at that, if you look right here, and then the light is helping, it helps me, I hope you can see it too. You see the little Endless Recorder logo right there, and if we flip over to the back side, it actually has embossed on the back side, Endless. And both of those are kind of nice. I like seeing that. I like the embossed logos and things on journals. I think that's a really cool feature. The corners are rounded. I really like the rounded corners. That's really nice. And then let's look at the back side of it. In the back of it, In the back of it, there is a pocket, good sized pocket. So again, if we look at the back of it, a good sized pocket right there. I think that's really, really cool. You can see the pocket is big enough to put stuff in. So like this little pamphlet that come with it, I can take the little pamphlet that come with it and I can just slide it right in there and I'll never lose it. And I can take my cover that come with it and I can slide it right in there and I'll never lose it. Well, maybe I'll lose it because I lose stuff like crazy, y'all. So yeah, so that is, you know, the kind of points about it. Now, this is an A5 size. So I've been using some A5s, trying them out because I'm like, you know what, if I'm going to use a journal, then I want something small that I can carry with me. And I kind of like the A5 size. Now, I do want a bigger notebook when I'm doing a lot of note taking for stuff like book reviews. I do need a bigger notebook because this here will not work for it. Also, this one here comes with 192 pages in it, and it's an 80 grams per square meter paper, so kind of a thicker paper. We're going to do two things now. So we're going to look at this last page, or next to the last page right here. This is a dotted one, so they're spaced 5 millimeters apart, and the dots are pretty profound. You can see them decently well. I like that. Now, the last, I think, 16 pages in here are perforated. I don't know if you can see the perforation in there, but we're going to experiment with it in a little bit because I have something I want to show you. I've watched several videos where people talk about bleed through on papers, and again, so let's talk about this one here. This is an 80-gram paper. So now I don't use the magic markers. What I wanted to do is kind of use some of the stuff that I am using to show you. So a lot of people will use like a ballpoint pen. So this is a Sharpie gel pen. So I am going to write something with my Sharpie gel pen right here, and we'll just write coffee. Y'all, my writing is terrible, so don't pick on me about my writing. And that is with the gel pen. I have another pen, and I can't think of who the manufacturer is, but this is a space pen right here, and it's made here in the USA. I'm going to write coffee with it, but this is a ballpoint. C-O-F-F-E-E. We'll do that. And then I have my fountain pen. So this is my fountain pen that I recently got. So let's go ahead and write coffee with it. This is a medium point. And I would probably never use a Sharpie on here, but this is a fine point Sharpie. So I'm going to write coffee with a fine point Sharpie. And then I have a couple of highlighters here. I thought, you know, I would probably highlight stuff occasionally. So let's just go ahead and take the highlighters, and we're just going to kind of highlight yellow because I use yellow a lot and I also use green a lot. So let's highlight the green. Or use the green highlighter, not highlight the green. Okay. Now, we're going to look at what a lot of people call the bleed test. So if I turn this over, and you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see a little bleed through right there on the Sharpie. So let me get my light out again. And let's see if we do it like that. Let's just kind of put a little light on there. Well, that's a lot of light on there. I wouldn't really consider that bleed through, but you know, you can see through it pretty well. Now, I don't know if you saw that, but you can see the perforation right there. You see the perforation right there? I can see it, and we're going to see how well it tears in just a minute. And that might help with the bleed through as well. So let's just set this down for a second, and let's see, can we actually tear this out pretty easily? Now, I would normally not tear things out of my journal because I don't want to, but since this is a, well, look at that. So this is the gel ink right here on top, and you can see it wasn't dry. The rest of them dried pretty well, but on this page right here, the gel smeared on that. So the gel didn't dry very fast. All right, so the perforation tears fairly nice, and I tore this out because, you know, I wrote on this and I don't want this in my journal. All right, so now let's do this. Let's take it and put it down right here. And you can see the Sharpie fairly profound through there. So there's a little, I wouldn't call it bleed through. You can just see it bleed through, you know, it would have come through the other side and it really did not come through the other side. I don't think it come through the other side, but I think if you add enough light to it, you can see through. So, but yeah, so I think the paper is pretty nice. I really like the paper. It tore out pretty well. I have no idea why people would want to tear, paper out of their journals, and why there's, either make it all the same or not the same at all. So there's 16, I think there were 16 pages of this out of the 192. But yeah, it's okay. But now I don't have our little test in my notebook. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, that is the Endless Recorder journal. And like I said, I've been using it for a week. Oh, let me tell you the other thing I don't like about it. So one other thing I don't like about it, this is really important. All right, supposed to be a lay flat. Now, I'm pushing down fairly hard on this, and there is a pretty good gap in there. Let me see, what is, this one's probably better to do it with, a pretty good gap in here. So if I hold this up so you can see it, so there is a pretty good gap. If I try to hold it flat, you can see the gap in the pen and the paper, and that affects me because when I'm writing, then I lose about a 1/4 inch on both, on both sides of the middle, and I can't write there because the way it's humped right there. And I kind of expected flat to be flatter than that. Maybe it's not supposed to be, but for me, that's what I was hoping for. The other thing I do like about it is the pages are numbered in the bottom. I like that because that helps me back on my table of contents to label what page it is, and I don't have to go through and manually do that myself. I really like the numbered pages. It's not a game changer one way or another, but that's a plus on my book for this particular notebook right here. So yeah, this is the Endless Recorder. I do like the leatherette cover. I do like the round edges. I do like the thickness of the paper. I do like the dots. It's really cool, and I do like the numbered pages. I do like the table of contents in the front of it. I do like the pocket in the back side of it. I do like the elastic band, and I do like the little bookmarkers, if you will, whatever they're called. I don't like that the colors are off. I don't like that the glue is on the blue like that. I do not like that at all. I think that's pretty, that's just a bad quality mess. So yeah, those are kind of the do's and the likes and not likes about this right here. And that's the Endless Recorder one. So yeah, tell me what you think about Endless Recorder if you've used Endless Recorder. There is a plus because it's not made in China for me. And there is a plus for the leatherette and the rounded edges and the numbers on the pages and the dots. It's a nice notebook. I just don't like the fact that it doesn't quite lay flat, not as flat as I want it to lay. And the slight misses on these two bookmarks right here. But other than that, I think it's a really nice notebook. And I'll answer the question, will I buy another one? Most likely I will. I've got a few more that I want to try out, before I say this is the one I'm definitely going to use, but this is definitely not a no. I'm going to give it a solid 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 cups of coffee. It could be a 4. Like I said, if this one thing right here, if that wasn't like that, this would definitely be a 4 for me for sure. But right now I'm going to give it a solid 3 out of 5 cups of coffee. Y'all, that is it. That's all I have for the Endless Recorder. Thank you so much for joining me. Tell me what you think about the Endless Recorder notebook if you've ever tried it. And if you've got some that you like, you got experience with other journals, A5 sizes or other sizes, let me know what you like and I might try one of those as well. Until the next video, y'all, thank you so much for joining me. Y'all have a happy coffee day. Bye-bye.